Is it Mike policy? Mike policy?
Yeah, she's good. No, because we need to do this. So, young lady, I understand you want to be baptized. Well, the doors of the church
My
are
mama
open.
made sure I got baptized.
For all the good it did.
I was telling Devo I lied at my baptism. So
You what?
yeah.
How you lie at your baptism?
Reverend Kelly asked me, could I swim? And I said, yes.
Well, wait, where did you get baptized at? The swimming was a question.
Well, that's what me and Devo was kind of discussing. Like, what does that mean? It wasn't, we didn't get baptized in the river. We didn't get baptized in the lake. It was a baptismal pool. I think he was joking just in case he dropped me. I was like 11. Debo asked me, had anyone ever been dropped? I can tell you we almost did, me and the late Reverend Baker. He was an older guy at that point, and this dude had to weigh about 260.
I've seen him drop people.
Yeah, the weight, we did it. We had it all wrong. We needed another deacon in there.
That's when I told you, he said, "Help!" I ain't lying.
Are you serious right now?
So you all were using that term age of accountability. That is part of the Baptist tradition. And what it means is that you have a better understanding of right and wrong. Most cultures, 12, 13 is when you're entering into biological adulthood.
Right.
So bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah is for girls, bar mitzvah is for men.
Right.
That means that now you're part of the Jewish community. For us as Baptists, we said, and I've seen kids get baptized as young as 6 or 7. Yeah. They don't really understand. They just want to be baptized.
Right.
So if you're Christian, do you then need to be baptized as well?
Well, that's one of the rites, one of the rituals of the church. To be a Christian church member would require that. To be a Christian, you could be a follower.
No. I'm speaking to when they're Christian babies.
And when they're Christian babies, that's blessing babies. That's not. Now, Catholics baptize babies. Mm-hmm. Okay, once you get to, I don't know what they call it, but they're baptized when they get to a certain, what is the name? Because I know confirmation is when you get through catechism. But yes, I think Methodists also sprinkle, and Lutherans might too. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're a Baptist, and we talk about Baptist as baptism, so baptism is like one of those rites of the church. Like, here's something that is always difficult. There are people who are not members of the church, might have a family member, but they're not members of the church. And they want
sacrament of baptism?
Yeah.
Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And see, a sacrament again is one of those rites of the church.
Okay.
And so rite, R-I-T-E. So they might want you to use your church and to do a funeral. And they want everything that goes along with that funeral. And if that person's not a member,
right,
that church can say, no, we do not. If the person is not a baptized Christian, you can also say, no, we will not. That's why when the whole same-sex marriage came along and you had religious groups talking about, oh, we're going to be forced to marry. No, you're not. That marriage ceremony is a right of the church. The church controls who is able to either experience that right or to be able to extend that right, R-I-T-E. So,
but if I'm a member of the church and I also happen to be gay, let's just say y'all know I was gay.
You're going to hell. Next question. Next group, we send it to hell. We send to hell after this group. Next.
Members of
choir
the lead singer of Love, Peace, and Soul.
Choir director.
But if I'm a member and I happen to be gay and I want to get married at church, then what else kicks in that the church?
The church can say no.
Say no.
I mean, literally, I had to perform. No, I had to do a baptism of an adult because his fiance was Catholic. And so they're going to have the wedding at her church. So at the minimum, he had to be a baptized Christian. So we baptized them
to be able to utilize the
to be able to get the right of that marriage in the church.
Okay.
So it's to be able to extend that right to folks. Membership has its privileges. Membership has its privileges. So it really depends on your faith tradition, what that means, what is symbolic.
Is it like what's in your wallet?
Yeah.
Membership has its privileges.
Yeah. No. What did American Express? Don't leave home without. Oh, American Express. What is it? Something about privileges?
Yeah.
What's that other one? Say a piece of the rock.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's insurance, right?
Insurance.
Is that Prudential?
Prudential.
Yeah.
So no, I think it's fascinating to understand the difference between church membership, adherence to the Christian faith, because you cannot be a member of a church and still be a practicing Christian.
I ain't gonna call the church name, but I was real upset with the pastor over there.
What he do?
What he had did was my uncle drove the church van. This I'm telling the truth now. He drove the church van and he pick up for Sunday schools and everything like that there. You know?
Why are you talking like that?
Let him tell the story.
Why are you talking? Did this story take place in Georgia?
After he did all of that.
Why are you talking like that?
He had messed around and went home and died.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
See, you didn't let me tell the story.
Wait, say it again.
No, he was the van driver. He was the van driver.
Okay.
And he picked up all the members and everything. He did this every Sunday for years.
Okay.
And just that so happened one Sunday, he picked everybody up and he went on home and died. You know, they wouldn't let us have his funeral at the church.
Was he a member?
Why?
He was a member.
Why wouldn't they?
Because the daycare was going on and they didn't want the funeral going on while the daycare was there.
Okay.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Well, you need to understand. No, let me rephrase that. We need to understand.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
This man was a member.
Yes.
Religiously picked up other members to make sure they got to church.
The van driver.
He dies.
Mm-hmm.
And the church say he can't have his service there.
That's right.
Because the daycare is going on.
The daycare going on. They don't allow no funeral while the daycare is going on.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, right?
But he was making dollars for y'all by making sure them people could come and bring their tithes.
Lose that daycare money.
But why do I have to lose the daycare money?
I don't know what they're doing. Daycare.
They had the daycare in the sanctuary.
Well, you know, it's all in the same building. You know.
Oh, okay. I do know that
no
they
lunchroom. You could have took the kids to the side during the service.
We call
take them outside to play in the back.
Let me correct that.
What?
That is called the fellowship hall.
Right.
Don't do lunchrooms in churches. It's a fellowship hall.
Not when it's school. Not when it's daycare. It's not called a fellowship hall. It's called a lunchroom.
No, it's still a fellowship hall.
It's not.
It changes purposes.
But you've had pastors who, let's say, my mother hasn't been to church regularly in years, right? And so here's the thing, but my mom sends
her money. Yeah, my granddaddy.
There was a woman who was in a nursing home, right? And she finally expired. And the pastor didn't want to do the funeral.
Because?
He said, because she hadn't been there.
I'm in a nursing home.
And wait a minute. What about all those years?
Right.
She put money and supported that ministry. And now,
because I like when my grandfather died, he didn't go.
Was she one that was sending her money as well?
That's what I was going to say. My grandfather, when he died, my granddaddy didn't go to church. He would go like every blue moon, just because.
He said often though, didn't he?
But that money, because I used to take it when I was in town, I would take his tithes up. And when my granddaddy passed, one of the things that the pastor said, Peter Bryan may not have come up in this church in years, but his money made it here every Sunday.
Oh, I talked to
every Sunday.
Yeah.
And so he got all the full rights of everything.
Yeah. As well he should. Because he's still a member. He's still a member.
So if your wife is a member, but you don't necessarily go, but you allow for her.
That could be a problem for some pastors.
You allow
what?
Well, I mean, you allow her to be a member there, and you allow her to.
Did you say allow?
Yeah, that's what I had said.
What does that mean? What do you mean you allow for her?
Because
no. Don't get professory. Don't get professory.
According to
don't get deep now. Don't do your little political finger. Political. You allow her.
Well,
what does that mean?
Because the man is the head of the household.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to.
That messed you up, didn't it?
No, it really did. What you gonna allow somebody to go to a church they want to go
okay,
to?
Maybe that's a bad choice of words.
You think?
When speaking to one named Michelle
and everybody else.
No.
Allow.
Your evangelist friends don't have
You
an issue
allowed
with
me
that.
to go to the church of my choice. What?
And I think I know where you were going with that, but
how have you stayed married all these years?
Because I'm the man of
you
my
a
house.
mess.
I'm the man of my
No,
house.
it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's all about you.
And I say this all the
she
time,
is
Michelle.
amazing. You are a mess.
I'm the man of my house.
I
wear the pants in my house. She might tell me which ones I'm wearing. That's
I was gonna say, don't talk strong and talk wrong on the radio.
I know how to
she might tell me which ones I'm wearing, but I get to wear them.
Put them ones on right there if you going.
And let me make this perfect.
You pointing?
I'm sorry. Let me make this perfectly.
Yeah.
Let me make this perfectly clear.
Way too much testosterone flying around.
Let me make
up
this
in this studio
perfectly
today.
I cannot
clear.
wait till Meach gets here.
I am not scared.
Scared of what? You ain't gotta be scared. You just gotta do what's right.
Michelle was sharing something with me yesterday, talking about Atlas, right? And her dad and his dad going back and forth. And Atlas must have said something really slick. See, that's what you get for raising free kids.
Wow.
So you got a little free black man running around here, And when you say your son said he had to shut that down.
Well, he started laughing first. Because Atlas like straight cracked him. Right. And dude said he almost wrecked the car because he was laughing so hard. But he was like, we ain't gonna be doing that.
Sounds like a real character.
Yeah.
When she told me Atlas told his dad, say, something about you how you go to the gym and forget to work out.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're raising free kids. They freely will express themselves. See, we need to go back to the good old days.
Oh, here we go.
Like we was raised.
Here we go.
My mama said, if I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Wow.
Why do you always try to paint Miss Cliffy out like she was just
because that's how we live.
Some warden. Y'all be revising history. It wasn't that bad, Keith. It was not that bad. I've met your mom.
So because my wife belonged to the church, don't mean she should be able to have my funeral there. Is that what you're saying?
Some churches won't.
Yeah.
Some churches won't. You need to be a member.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. But some people will extend the courtesy,
right?
If you're a spouse. Because they were still getting y'all household money.
That's what I was speaking to when I said if I allow for her to take my money.
Hey.
He was being hypothetical.
The allow word is a real strong. It's just real strong.
Well, she allows certain things too. It works both ways. That's why I got 28 marital years and 33 years together with the same person because I know how to work with people. I allow. She allow. How many years you got?
Show the head.
I allow. She allow. You allow. And this is what you do. This here.
So when politicians when politicians are giving speeches, one of the first things that they are told is not to point at their audience or point, when they're talking, because it seems like
it's rude.
Yeah. So there's a way you hold your finger and your thumb.
What did the one do?
Bill Clinton was infamous for.
Oh yeah, he was. But what did the one do? Did the one ever do that?
The one.
Barack Obama. The one.
B had a moment or two.
And everybody. I'm listening to all these aspiring male politicians. They all be trying to sound like Barack.
Or, you got white people thinking they're the next coming of Barack and they believe in the Kool-Aid.
Shapiro's good. He's good. I mean, he got a flow.
I mean, he's a good speaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got a good flow.
I'm not denying that.
Look at that.
Let's go for
it. Get corrected here. Caller on to the program. Good morning.
Hey, Keith, what's happening, y'all?
Hey.
Hi, George.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? I had to take it off the speaker real quick. But the rent. What y'all talking about? And I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, maybe that's what turns people off from the church sometimes. What Debo said, but they could make exceptions to have it another day or at another time, or my wife is a member or my husband is a member, but I pass away.
Right.
I don't understand that thinking. Or I'm not coming because I'm in a nursing home, or I'm just not. But I'm sending you my money. I don't understand that stuff. I guess that's just me. I guess that's just my weird way of thinking. But
you know who is very very good about having people who weren't necessarily members of their church? Holy Redeemer.
Oh, they did
Yeah, Bishop Daniels did it. I mean, I'm talking whether it was a tragic death or some other family member. Mm-hmm. They were very open. I mean, I think it depends on the congregation and what you're looking at. The flip side of this has been that you bring in people, let's say that they're not regular churchgoers, and then you got some real issues, right? Mm-hmm.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, sir.
I got baptized twice.
Okay.
My parents baptized me and my brothers at the same time when we were small.
Okay.
When we were kids.
Methodist?
But I did it when I was grown too. And when I think I might have told you this story before. And when I went and told my mom I got baptized again, she asked me why. And I said, because this time it was my choice. Mm. It's something that I wanted to personally do in my relationship with the Lord. It wasn't like when you're a kid, you don't know what's going on.
I've been baptized twice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it when I was grown.
You've been married twice. You may as well be baptized twice.
I don't know if that makes a difference, or they say somebody was telling me all you needed is one time.
What I say, Keith?
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, did you get that thing I sent you last night about the RNC? You were absolutely correct, Michelle.
Yep, I saw
that was the text.
You called it,
that
Michelle.
Was the text.
Yes, I saw it. In fact, I'm gonna talk about it on the show this afternoon.
Well, they didn't make no money.
But
right,
we didn't get no money.
I'm just saying.
And how the Bucks, how they got the Deer District down there, mm-hmm. how good they treat their people, mm-hmm. and they were saying that they should have took a clue from the Bucks about how people would have got paid down here, because they were saying a lot of these, it was really a bust.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is
money was supposed to be coming into the city and all this stuff.
I think I think we have this view of the Republican Party as these big money folks, but when you look at rank and file people, these are basically middle class people. I thought it was amazing. Donald Trump was lying. Well, what else is new? He went into the same arena that Kamala Harris had used the week before. He was saying, well, nobody in there for Kamala. That place was packed to the rafters. There's people, and Michelle and I have experienced this. Once
the Atlanta rally?
Yeah. Once the Secret Service seals the building, nobody gets in. Right. Nobody gets in. So you have people outside. Once they shut it down, it's shut down. But he was lying about it in terms of like the crowd size, and he's going back to Joe Biden. Joe Biden obviously is not the draw that Kamala Harris is right now. So, So were you baptized Methodist, or was it another faith tradition?
Both times.
Okay. And Methodist, do they sprinkle?
Well, that's what I was. I can't remember when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure when I was a kid they sprinkle too. But
right.
Yeah, most of the ones I've been to, they take the.
And that was always the controversy. Whether or not, and Baptists could get pretty condescending about, well, we Baptists, and so you need to be baptized by immersion because Jesus was baptized by immersion. We don't really know what that baptism looked like. There's speculation. It's wet. There's some water involved, but we don't know how much water.
And it's the symbol behind it,
and that's all it is.
Whether you sprinkled or immersed, that's your choice, but it's the same to me. You turning your life over to a new creation. That's what it's all about, right?
Right. That's symbolic of that. And then Reverend Wanzel used to say, "You go in the pool a dry devil, and you come out a wet devil."
Hey, but one last thing. Now, I don't know if this is true. You guys may know better than me. Back to this RNC thing. They were saying that a lot of those people were chartering buses outside of Milwaukee, mm-hmm. and the people on the outskirts were making the money and stuff. Is that true?
Probably. And it also depended on where people were living. Staying. The whole piece of it. And Chicago is probably going to be very different, just because of the congestion.
It won't. I mean, when we did the preps for the DNC,
Uh-huh.
we had probably 40% of the folks that were coming to the DNC were going to be staying in Chicago because the bandwidth and hotel capacity.
Right.
This is still peak tourism.
Hey, I'm gonna listen to
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
still peak tourism, so they don't even have the space to accommodate everybody within the area. Some of those people will be staying in Wisconsin.
No, but what I'm saying is that the ability to be able to walk out the surrounding businesses the way that it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
that's the spillover into, and that's what they didn't get, because the way that it was situated,
the way the perimeter was set up.
right, and that's what Major Goolsby's was trying to make sure.
When we did, but so it's not even about the perimeter piece, because the perimeter will be similar. Because when we were in North Carolina and in Philly, so where the venue where the actual convention took place, you didn't purchase nothing around there. It was when we went back to our hotels at night,
right,
or before we left in the morning heading over, because we rode buses over to the convention center.
Right, and I think this whole fencing now is a 21st century phenomenon where you fence off. Obviously, anybody, CNN just reran 1968. There were no fences. There were no fences. You just and if you've seen the fences, these are not just like your backyard fence. Right. These are some fences.
Like what they used over in Kenosha with the Cowrie Tower and all of that when they put those fences up.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, because they did. I went down. I covered that for WNOV, and they did fence it. But you know what was crazy about Kenosha? Now this happened in this little tiny area. That's always the thing about insurrections, right? Or riots, that you would think that it's it's Watts, or it's the 92 riots, the Rodney King riots.
Oh yeah.
You would think like it's burning like that. Like in Milwaukee, it was a gas station that was on fire. But the way that they run the loop, it looked like the whole city's on fire. My boy called, man, they burning the city down. No, man, they burning a gas station down. Okay.
Well, we was in Martha's Vineyard when Sherman Park happened.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, when it came across CNN, we were standing there like, what the hell is going on? Milwaukee's on fire.
It's on fire.
It's crazy.
And it was like one little block. Okay. But when you run the loop, because that's what they're running, they're continually running the loop, it gives the impression. So let me get this caller before we get to our caller. Welcome to the program. What's that?
I was This is Kevin Walker. I was calling because I've been saving this up. I was going to call last week when you had the religious going on.
Yeah.
But I don't get a chance to use these much.
Hey, Ken, do me a favor, man. Take us off the speaker because we won't be able to hear you.
If I can, hold on. I don't know if I can do this.
Okay, we'll go, man. We'll see. We'll get through it. We'll soldier through.
This is. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Better.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And what it is that I got three Bible jokes. First one. 2 Corinthians walk into a bar. That's it. Okay. The second one is how much money?
Do I need to explain it to folks just in case they didn't catch it?
You do.
That is our former president referred to the book of 2 Corinthians as 2 Corinthians. So 2 Corinthians couldn't walk into a bar.
And the next joke, how much? This is really for kids. How much money was on Noah's Ark? The duck had a bill, frog had a greenback, and the skunk had a cent.
Oh, okay. That's clever. All right.
And now this next one is why were Toyota? Why did the apostles favor Toyota as their car brand?
Why?
Because they came out of one place and they left in an Accord.
You know what? I'm gonna help you with that joke. They left in one accord.
Yeah, well, actually,
right, because remember on the day of Pentecost, they came to one place on one accord. Good one, man.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, now I used to know a bunch more, but I don't go to church that much.
You know, it's interesting where you use Toyota. Is that what is? You know, it's interesting. I don't know if people remember the group, the Taliban, when it was in Afghanistan. The vehicle of choice for the Taliban was Toyota. Yeah. Toyota was not very happy with their brand being associated with Islamic militants.
That's all you see though with certain countries.
Yeah, it was like Toyota, and they were red Toyotas.
Right. What they did is that somebody had bought a whole bunch of Toyotas, and they were all geared up and stuff like that, and it made people suspicious because somebody had to buy somebody signed for that, and they imported those things over there.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All
right. You're listening to Community Voice. When we come back, we'll be inside Be Healthy, Be You. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You've been missing your favorite shows. At Xavier Fox Media and Events, my co-host and I produce a reality talk show that consists of real, intense, intriguing, and informative conversations. We talk about dating and relationships, sex, physical and mental health, self-care, investing, financial management, and our panel discussions, Girl Talk and Girl Talk Plus One, are always hot. Our goal is to provide shows and events that not only entertain and educate, but also encourage positive health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Shows can be seen live the third Saturday and the fourth Friday of each month on YouTube and Instagram. Every Wednesday at noon, you can listen to a new show on Spotify, and you can check out previous shows on the Xavier Fox Media and Events Facebook page. To get all that information in one place and the links to where the shows can be seen and heard, visit the website, xavierfox.com. That's XAV as in Victor, IAFOX, xavierfox.com. Make sure you keep up with what I have going on.
This Black Business Month vignette was sponsored by U.S. Bank.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
2024 is the year of the entrepreneur. If you've set strong goals for your business that includes scaling up or securing office space, we want to talk to you. The Keon T. Roundtree Legacy Center is a conveniently located commercial office hub poised to help your business grow. Private offices or team suites, media or meeting rooms, event space to commercial mailboxes. We offer affordably priced options to help your business succeed. And for WNOV listeners, mention you heard it here to receive half off your office deposit fee with each annual lease. To learn more or schedule a meeting, call or text us at 414-797-9037 for all of your office and workplace needs.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hi, this is Keith Parris, the host of Community Voice, asking you to join us Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 11. You will hear from interesting guests, Wednesday's Word, and topics and subjects that impact our beloved community.
And don't forget about me, Devon Jones, DJ The Protege, here every Friday, bringing you Free Flow Friday, Politics Nation, Sports, Haters Nation, local events, national events. And remember, while I'm here, there'll be no passes given.
That's Community Voice, heard on The Voice, WNOV 860, 106.5.
It's time for the grooviest event of the summer at the Wisconsin State Fair. I am feeling it. Feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular. August 1st through the 11th.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Can I get this call real quick? And then we'll move right into it. Call, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yesterday you had a guest on that was a Black-owned printing service. Can you give me that name and address?
Great Impressions.
It was Great Impressions?
Uh-huh.
And can you give me their location?
Yes, they're on Burleigh.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
They're on 5330 West Burleigh. Great Impressions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
We're inside Be Healthy, Be You. Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan of Central Wisconsin. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's everybody this morning?
Well, great.
Are you really? How you doing? Great. You sound like a 16-year-old. How's life? Okay. How's school? Okay.
Oh yeah, they do, and it's monotone.
It's like
yeah.
Get a text from a young person. Now, first of all, I guess a lot of older people struggle because we're trying to be grammatically correct and want that sentence structure. Young people like, no, just put some words in there. You figure it out.
Or some letters.
Yeah, some letters. And you going like, dude, I don't understand hieroglyphics. What are we?
I know. Then you're looking up, what does this mean when they say that? It's like, oh, that's what
was
that means.
the one that used to have parent looking over my shoulder?
Oh.
When they used to be texting and doing, I think it was
LMOS or
yeah, something like that. You know, parent looking over my shoulder. It took me a long time to figure out LOL.
I know
some people thought it meant like somebody who was texting something and they're like, that's not funny. And they're like, oh, they thought it meant love, something love a lot. Love. I was like, oh, yeah, very different than laugh out loud.
BFL, best friend for life.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always interesting at 18. It might not be your best friend for life, but at 18, at that moment, yeah. So it's all these things where I don't know. And here, you know what my struggle grammatically is? Remembering prepositions. And the one, I'm not a great writer, so the one I always have to insert after we edit is the. You know, I wish I would have been more devoted to writing. I was just so devoted to reading. And, but there are people out there who are just great. I mean, great writers.
Yeah.
Beautiful penmanship, the whole thing. Oh, what do they call that? They used to call that hand, short for handwriting. Like person has a beautiful hand. They're talking about their ability to do cursive. And we've had the whole discussion about whether they should be teaching cursive in school.
I have some people that I work with, some young ladies that don't know cursive.
So they can't sign their name.
Oh, they can sign their name.
They print it.
Right.
That's not a signature.
Yes, it is. Just as valid.
It
Think about
is now.
What did Big Daddy, who couldn't write, what did he sign with?
X.
Just as valid.
Mm-hmm.
They print your name and you put an X next to it.
I think it's really, really, it was really difficult for me to have a young person say, "Oh, I don't do that."
I hate cursive. I'll be honest with you. I used to hate penmanship. And I think because I didn't have the dexterity, I wasn't artistically, so inclined. So I hated penmanship. I mean, that's why my handwriting is so bad now. Yeah. All right. So we got that, everybody. We cool on penmanship and okay. All right. We're sure now. So we move on. So today we're talking about organ donation.
Yeah, it's such a big. First of all, it's not discussed enough in our community, and I don't know. Do people still put it on their driver's license?
You can. When you go in now, it's electronic. You check a box, and if you do check that box, then you become legally registered
forever and ever
in the state of Wisconsin until you repeal that. So you can go online and do that, repeal it yourself. But if you check that on your box on your driver's license, you are automatically registered with the state as an organ donor, and that supersedes anything. So if a family member comes along and says, I don't want to donate that, it doesn't matter. That's legally valid, and that holds up over any kind of protest.
And you may think that person wouldn't have anything to donate, but they can take
everything: skin, eyes, connective tissue, things like tendons. There's so many things other than just the organs that we typically think of, like kidney, liver.
What about would it be considered an organ donation if I said you can use my body as a cadaver?
I don't know if that's it's a donation, but those are then used for, obviously, for research.
And then you have
training
right now pro athletes and others who's had concussive impact on their brains will donate their brains to research. They're trying to deal with CTE. Yeah,
they learn a lot from cadavers.
Yeah. So I mean, but the importance of organ donation. I just talked. Well, in church Sunday, we're talking about one of our members who just had a transplant. I do know there's someone else who calls the show regularly. They're in this point now where they're trying to get a transplant. One of the fascinating things is, just like blood donation, the people with the greatest needs are the people who give the least.
Yes. Yes. And sometime, with you being a minister, sometimes people says that it's not religiously forbidden to give organs.
And I think it's because people of the Jewish faith believe, like we in Christianity, we have this thing, which is a totally different theological discussion, of heaven and hell. Actually, the Jewish faith believes either in death or resurrection. And so, like in Israel, they have rabbis, when they had bombings, their job was to go and collect as many of those body parts as possible, because they're saying that you're going to be resurrected whole. So they're trying to make sure the body is whole. So that's why there might be where people saying once you're dead, you can't, because of resurrection. That could be part of that, what's influencing that thought process.
I know in the Hmong culture, you need to be buried with all your organs. That's part of their belief.
Right. It's something, again, what your sense of life after death and what that looks like. There are people who, is it Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is that my guy? The astrophysicist. And he was saying that he wants what they call a natural burial. And that's where they take you out in the woods, no embalmment, put you in the ground, and you become part of the earth. Embalming goes back to the Egyptians, right? And they're saying that Jesus was embalmed. So You're right. That whole whatever your faith tradition is about donations, like I'm assuming that the Jehovah's Witness don't do drug transfusions, so I'm sure they're not donors, right?
I'm not sure about that. I
Really?
read something recently. I'm not 100% sure about that. But in order to donate, but in order to receive, you got to get blood products.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to go through without possibly getting blood products. I mean, I know they'll do like plasma, but not like platelets, red blood cells, that kind of thing.
But, working in intensive care, I've had the unfortunate responsibility of asking families to donate.
Mm-hmm. That's
when when mom is there and is being kept alive because of the ventilator.
Mm-hmm.
And they would not, a lot of times they would even get angry with you. But that's not the time to discuss it at that time. But more white families would say, yeah, where do I sign?
Mm-hmm.
And they would do it quickly. I mean, there wasn't a problem with.
Well, and Kit, maybe they did have conversations about it, or I know recently there's been one in the news where the family was really upset because a person died, and they had they were harvesting their organs, or the plan was to, and the family was just really, really upset because they felt, because this person was still on life support, that they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
They're alive because of the machines keeping them alive, but
basically
yeah, they're dead. If you take them off of all of that, they're not going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So there still is so much misinformation, and we hear it. They're just they just want to kill us and take our organs, and they don't understand the difference. I mean, just because the body looks like it's alive and it's blood is flowing through it doesn't mean it's if you're on a ventilator and.
Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the Bible forbids Christians from receiving blood transfusions. They often refuse them, even if it's their own blood.
Mm-hmm.
This is based on their interpretation of the Bible passage that prohibits the eating of blood. They also refuse to donate or store their own blood for transfusions or allow their blood to be used for cross-matching.
I know that was a big thing, is that they were trying to get them to donate their own blood, prior to their surgery. And when I'd do stuff on the ethics committee at the hospital, and they wouldn't even go through that, which is their own blood. But once it leaves their body, they felt like it was contaminated, and coming back in was.
I seen it at the bedside. This young woman had an ectopic pregnancy.
Oh, so she was going to die.
And she ruptured the tubes, and she was bleeding internally, and they kept telling her if she doesn't take blood that she's going to die. And I'm sobbing as I'm caring for her, because she was such a young, beautiful woman. And I just thought, how many people are that faithful to their faith? That
Aren't we all, though?
Sure. Well, they believe their eternal life is linked to that. So if they get contaminated blood,
I would say, well, God, you gonna have to forgive me.
Right. I'm gonna get it and get forgiveness.
But then as you just saying, here it becomes a medical ethic.
It became an ethic.
Because do we go in because, as you know, you have an obligation to save life, and so then it becomes the conflict of does one, and I think that impacts generally on people's view of organ donation, right? So if we had more discussions where it's really the science and have it fact-based, because my argument, remember I was saying that you want all your organs if you're a Jew. I'm saying, well, if God is God, he could
raise you.
What did I say?
She
could
raise you up.
But yeah, some believe literally that you have to have that you need this whole body. Some people take that literally, that when you come back, you need everything that you had. And so,
But even in our African American community, we're doing more cremations now than we ever did.
And people, but even our understanding of why we bury people, right? We bury people so we don't die from disease. It'll kill us. You can't have dead people around. You're going to die. So that's why you bury. And then we created the ritual, right? Which gives the survivors a certain level of comfort. But, you know, it's just like, I don't want the worms. You know, we buying vaults and we double, embalming. And, you know, just guess what? At some point, you're going to dissolve.
Yep.
There's going to be very little of you left, right? And if we go long enough, we won't be able to recognize any of you because you become part of the ecosystem. That's what Neil deGrasse was saying, that I want to be part of that. He was saying because he said it was too temporary if you get cremated because you're immediately in it. He said, this way I'm just kind of.
So, yeah, circle of life, right?
So that, I think, if we had a clearer understanding of that, maybe the number of people who would be willing to donate organs would rise.
And, you know, and it's one thing when it's, you know, somebody's been ill and there's still things that can be harvested, as opposed to a young person being in a car accident. They're so stuck in their grief that it's hard for them to even accept the fact that they're dying anyway, let alone now you want to take their organs, and you know, you haven't given them enough time to fight and see if they can live. And so
you use a term that I think people might be uncomfortable with, and so maybe explain its source, its root. When you say harvest, you know, people thinking like we have these pods and we're harvesting human beings.
Well, sure, every movie, right, you watch, they're harvesting organs, and it's not because they're dying and they're harvesting them for something that they shouldn't be, you know, in the movie. So yeah, I mean, that's the term they use, but it's probably not the best term to use with people who are in the middle of that.
They really, really highly respect the person and the organs that are retrieved from that person. I mean, they highly respect them. They want the organs to be well cared for, and the organs to go into a person that's going to take good care of them. And then you've seen recently where people are listening to their son's heart in someone else, or
feeling that a part of them is still alive. And
we donated organs from my uncle. We couldn't donate the liver, but he used that one up. The liver was worn out. But it was amazing. His heart, how strong his heart was. I think they did. Was it cornea?
The cornea.
I mean, we're all connected.
We are.
And I know that, you know, again, and I'll use the term superstition drives a lot of this. You know, in terms of what did Stevie Wonder say? It's what we don't understand. It's superstition, right? And so maybe, you know, discussions like this becomes more important for our community because at least you begin to demystify it and then understand the benefit that you're providing, you know, when you're able to. I am an organ donor in my card.
I am too.
Me too.
Yeah.
And my mother received a kidney, and it was when you get that call to come to the hospital, we got it. And and we have one of our team members who was going to donate her kidneys to her sister, and somebody else in the community matched closer than she did, and so
her other sister she know about.
Perfect match.
Not only did she look like you,
right? Wow, amazing!
Amazing. She looked
and
like
a 10 out of 10 match. Wow,
look just like you. What, Daddy? I was kidding. I used to the late Bill Taylor. And we got looking like, right? And I look at him going, "You my daddy?" I say that to Danae all the time. I say, "How's Dad doing?"
guy.
He was.
Oh, that was a beautiful ceremony Saturday for him too.
You know, I was very sad to hear that he had passed, but you know, I had it was my duty in high school to get him to be our DJ for our prom.
And did you get him?
I did.
Oh,
I
how
did
awesome.
get him. He was.
You should have been at the.
He was some kind of guy. He was as popular as he was. He came to West Division High School and DJ'd our prom.
Serious swag.
He did.
Yeah,
He
serious
did.
swag. You're listening to Community Voice. We're Insights. I'm going to say something real. We're inside the LTVU. We'll be right back.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you need to summarize your class notes or want to create a recipe with the ingredients you already have in your fridge, Meta AI has the answers. You can also research topics, explore interests, and so much more. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI. Now on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger.
2024 is the year of the entrepreneur. If you've set strong goals for your business that includes scaling up or securing office space, we want to talk to you. The Keon T. Roundtree Legacy Center is a conveniently located commercial office hub poised to help your business grow. Private offices or team suites, media or meeting rooms, event space to commercial mailboxes. We offer affordably priced options to help your business succeed. And for WNOV listeners, mention you heard it here to receive half off your office deposit fee with each annual lease. To learn more or schedule a meeting, call or text us at 414-797-9037 for all of your office and workplace needs. Milwaukee, are you ready for a free event that brings the community together like never before? Then mark your calendar. The WNOV Milwaukee County Office of Equity and the City of Milwaukee Health Department's 9th Annual Community Resource Fair is back and better than ever. Join us on Saturday, August 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Clinton Road Senior Center, located at 3045 North Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. It's a day filled with fun, resources, and connections. At our resource fair, you'll find valuable information and services. Need assistance with healthcare? We've got you covered. Looking for educational opportunities? Explore the options. Enjoy delicious food and activities for the entire family. Meet WNOV hosts and enter our raffle for a chance to win amazing prizes. Everyone is welcome. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to discover what our community has to offer. Join us at the WNOV Milwaukee County Office of Equity and the City of Milwaukee Health Department's 9th Annual Community Resource Fair on August 17th. Together, let's build a stronger, more connected Milwaukee.
Be sure to stop by and visit all of these fine sponsors.
The New Pitts Mortuary, Lakeview Health, Wisdom, Micah, and Free, AARP, Autism Society of Southeastern Wisconsin,
Centers for Independence, Employ Milwaukee,
Housing Resources, Northside Milwaukee Health Center, Family Medicine Residency Program,
1MKE, Progressive Community Health Centers,
Greater Milwaukee Urban League, Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce,
U.S. Bank, Milwaukee County Department of Health and Human Services Child Support Services,
Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Center.
For more information, visit our website at www.WNOV860.com. See you there. This message was brought to you by WNOV, your voice of the community.
Habari Ghani, this is the voice of the community found on WNOV 860 AM, W293CX 106.5 FM. I'm Kwaku Amoasi, better known as the Blacksmith, Milwaukee's favorite psychologist, host of Nayumbu Upendo. This show will air every Wednesday from 11 to 12, where we will talk on all things mental health. When you need a healing for your mind, body, and soul, come to Nayumbu Upendo.
Wisconsin's #1 voice, WNOV.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. We're inside Be Healthy, Be You. Miss Julie Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan. We're talking about the importance of organ donation. Give us the list. One on there I didn't see, but give us the list of organs that can be transplanted.
Well, these are the organs, and it's the liver, kidney, pancreas.
Yeah, they are doing. That's new.
new,
They're
right?
doing pancreatic
So a person
transplant.
dealing with pancreatic cancer, they would be able to, because by that time
Probably, yeah. Usually with pancreatic cancer, by the time you know anything, it's pretty advanced. But like one of the nurses I worked with during COVID at the hospital, her brother was a really bad diabetic and got a pancreatic transplant and was doing really well.
And of course, the heart and lung, they can do together now. And intestines.
And then you've got the other things that are eye, skin,
skin, which is our biggest organ,
big
right?
organ, and then like I said, tendons, things like that.
Well, they asked me if I wanted to donate my fat.
No, I'm taking my fat home with me.
Well, I'm sure they could
said-
use it to reconstruct things on other people,
yes,
other
I said,
breasts
you
and
can
things like
have-
that.
For sure,
Who would want that? Was like the polyp they found. You want to take it home with you? No, I want you to take it out of me.
Yeah, but with the fat, they can use that to reconstruct a breast or something like that. Not everybody has enough fat to use on their own body to reconstruct a breast.
Women don't have enough fat.
It's amazing, but there are some.
I had enough to donate.
We got about 4 or 5 people out of you. Isn't the same thing when the family want to come by and see the breast? Thank you, Julia.
So Julie be like,
Oh, I am a C cup. Thank you, Julia.
I was a double A when I went in. Look at me now.
I come out with some Julia.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I did.
Would you want to take it home with you? But I
People do. They take everything.
What are you
home.
doing with it?
I don't know. I don't want anything.
They
If it's
used to
got
take their gallstones.
a lot of people used to take their
They
stones.
wanted their gallstones. They would take them home.
A lot of people.
Handed them many of gallstones.
They gave me the picture. They gave me the picture of the polyp. I'm like, I don't even want to take the picture home. I mean, this looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Like, you know, I mean,
they're
it's
not
like,
cute.
No,
They're not. I saw mine when they were taking it off. I'm like, because I didn't fall asleep completely. I told you that. I've had 3 colonoscopies, and I was like, oh, is that a polyp? And he's like, yes, it is.
I don't
I
know what
was
kind
special.
of drugs they give you, but
I
I'd
don't know.
be out.
I don't know.
Had to wake me up.
I think I fight it. I think that's what I do. I think I
Oh,
fight it.
Yeah, you want to always be conscious.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like I ain't
There are a
going
lot
to
of people.
sleep.
It's
You
like
ain't
the
putting
kid.
me
You
to
ain't
sleep.
putting them to sleep. They fight sleep. It's good.
Lay
Oh.
Be at peace, young fella.
Right.
Be at peace.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean it count backwards from 100.
You get
The
to about
last time
2.
I remember was 97.
Yeah.
And then I hear you can go home.
Yeah. You're like, what?
Rhonda said she hated it. She said there's 2 hours of my life that I have no memory of.
Oh, yeah.
When you think about, you going in and but I, shout out to the folks when I went over to do my colonoscopy and the what would that be? The GI?
Mm-hmm.
But the staff, the
They
nursing
are
staff,
wonderful.
and of course, when the pusher man comes in,
Yeah.
he's just really cool. Yeah, hey, what we're getting ready to do, man? Is, shoot you up with a little something. You're gonna feel off. You're gonna be gone. It's like he's the pusher man. But people don't realize that can make a mistake and you can kill somebody.
Sure, absolutely. Just the wrong dose. That's why it's important for them to know your exact weight and all of that, because that's how they titrate and determine how much you
And
need
that's
of something.
amazing science to me. Just knowing the administering of drugs and do enough not to kill you. You know, just be able to.
And that's why that person is at the head of your bed the entire time you're under, watching everything.
I love Blackish. I mean, I think Blackish is one of the funniest.
It's so funny.
Hear Rainbow talk about the importance of being anesthesia. She said, "You know how many people didn't die today?" You know, because how important I am. But yeah, I mean, you think about that, and we are also one of the things that, you know, the heart transplant. I remember when that happened. I was back in, I want to say late 60s.
Early
the
70s.
first heart transplant. Julia used to work with those patients.
I didn't work with the transplants. They usually went to county at that time, or they did
the old county general.
Yeah, or St. Luke's. They did a lot
So
of
we just-
heart transplants. We did a lot of bypass surgeries,
With
and
yeah.
we would do it on people who had already had it done. And the
Oh.
endarterectomies, where they would take the fat completely out and redo it. And
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was new. And but you know, Wisconsin used to be the heart.
Oh yeah,
State.
that St. Luke's. That was their whole thing. Their heart specialty.
All of our hospitals were real good at revascularization.
Okay, everybody was good.
Everybody was good. Everybody.
We got you. Everybody. That includes
Right.
Ascension.
Yeah.
Everybody was good.
Everybody. We did so many, but they came directly to St. Mary's because of that endarterectomy. And so people came from Israel. They came from New York, a lot of Florida, and they would end up staying because it took a long time for them to recuperate. But it's
so
so
even you
different
mentioned
now.
St. Mary's and the Burn Center, where there is.
Well, you need the skin.
So skin grafting is basically skin transplant.
Yes.
My grandmother was in a fire and she had to do skin grafting. Very painful. Very painful for her. And I think we believe that probably contributed to her decline by the time she was 93.
Oh,
you know, because of all the trauma.
Yes.
That's
93 is old. It is.
Yeah, she was in her late 80s. Yeah, but don't get the caller.
Okay.
Hey, Debo. Make caller. Yeah. Thank you. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yes, I knew somebody. I didn't know this person, but this young kid wound up getting killed, and they wound up taking his. He was a young black kid, and he donated. His mother was really tough for her. He donated her his heart to this a 50 or 60-year-old white man. So it doesn't really matter what ethnicity you are, or what, I guess what race you are, or anything else like that when you're donating. Is that correct?
That is so correct. They don't go by that. I you know, at the wedding, Judge Mosley did the ceremony, and he would tell you in a minute that he got a kidney from one of his
coworkers,
white coworkers. He said, and he'll say, and I haven't been able to dance since.
I don't like hot sauce no more.
Right, all of that.
Don't bring me no grease.
Right. I like steak tartare, you know.
She would be
pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's as long as they do all these markers that they have to test. And that's so that the body will accept it and not reject it. And so if you meet so many markers, it doesn't matter what race you are. Now, if you are the same race, you're probably more likely to get a better match, but it's not necessary.
Well, I think the other piece of it is, and that's why race is a construct. Biologically, it's not real.
It's not real.
And how we're linked as human beings. Now we have to account for, as you say, geographical things that will contribute to your DNA, but we all have the same human source, right?
Right. Well, up until last year, 2023, and they had a different set of guidelines for kidney transplant for blacks and whites. You know, you had to have a higher Well, you could have a higher creatinine, which is not a good thing, and still not be eligible, but your white counterpart would. And so up until last year, there were many, many more African Americans on the transplant list for kidneys. And then when they changed that, whole lot of people that had been waiting for a long time got moved up to the, moved up further along the list. And that's something that for years in textbooks, a Black person could have a higher creatinine, which it just puts you at risk for more kidney disease, because then they're looking at, well, that's normal, you're Black, but if you were white, that wouldn't be normal. And so that affected a lot of people. There were probably people that died not being able to get there because of that very reason.
And that's where Dr. Jeffries will say that race is a construct, but racism is real.
It's real.
And what it's saying, the impact of that behavior, even though biologically we're the same. It's like giving blood, right? It's the blood type. It's not your racial type.
Though, with sickle cell patients, after so long, they need, after so many transplants, they definitely need blood from an African American. Because of those markers and all of that.
Would that also be the same with the blood marrow?
I don't know about that, but I know the blood transfusion, because I did
Is that what they're doing now, bone marrow? Or they're going
that definitely has to be like your parent or your
a very, very close relative.
Very, very close relative.
And that would make sense. Again, sickle cell is a regional disease. It's, they don't get sickle cell in China. I mean, it's Africa, the Mediterranean, those folks who are more apt to get it. So, and that's the whole piece out here about this construct that we call race, because it was during World War II. There were white soldiers who would get very upset if they got a blood from transfusion from a black person.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're alive.
You're alive, man.
Yeah. My mother was one of those that when she had surgery, she had breast cancer, and back then they did a radical, so she was in the hospital for 2 weeks. You'd never find that nowadays, but she was in the hospital. She had chemo, radiation.
It was horrible.
Yeah. I mean, she was gutted, really. Very scarred. I mean, probably a 12, 13-inch scar, everything on all of her lymph, everything removed. But when she became ill and had a GI bleed, she ended up in the ICU for 10 days before they could find blood, because she had some rare marker in her blood that they believe she got when she had cancer and had to have a blood transfusion, because they tested all of her siblings, none of her that were alive, none of them had that. So she had to stay in the ICU for a long time to keep her alive until they could, and the blood they found was way somewhere out on the West Coast for her. So, but yeah, and it's the same with that. You don't know.
I did a blood drive at Ebenezer, and I had other churches to come, because it's hard getting Black folks to donate blood. And when you are responsible for the blood drive, you want everybody to come, and they don't come. You there all day, and you get like 5 pints of blood. Right. And so with this 5 pints of blood, I got a letter from the
20 people, something like that.
It wasn't.
No.
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
It wasn't that much.
Oh.
Many people. I get a letter. And true enough, a lot of women came, and a lot of African American women don't qualify because our blood count is so low.
What about the iron?
Yeah, it's so low. So when I get this letter saying that this woman way in another state needed our blood and was in ICU waiting on this blood that came from Ebenezer, this little 5 pints of blood that we donated. So you never know.
You don't.
Let me shout out.
That's awesome.
Pastor Emeritus Jonathan Sappho, how you train your congregants to give. She gave her fat. We got blood over there. Thank you.
We give it.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Bishop Sappho. Call him up to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is
the Reverend Dr. Andrew Ward, and I'm speaking specifically to the Reverend Keith Parrish.
All right.
The Reverend Doctor, I'm sorry. A question an idea I've had for the longest is that this would balance racism out. When one dies, only their spirit leaves. And if one believes in reincarnation, then we come back as an Asian, African, Caucasian. So when one race is after another one, it sort of balances out. Y'all chop that up, you medical experts and Reverend Dr. Keith Parrish.
Yeah, I don't know if it's guaranteed in reincarnation that you might come back human. You could come back a rabbit. You come back an insect. I don't know. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Keith. And my favorite teacher, Julia Mean. This is Annette.
Hello. Hey, Miss
Hello.
Annette.
Hello. I think that I'm pretty sure I am O negative. And I know that's a universal blood. And I would like to definitely be a blood donor. But the last time I tried to donate blood, they said something about my iron is too low or something like that several years ago. But I think I'm okay now. And the other question I would like to ask is as far as kidneys and family members. I was told that as long as you're at least 70% or more of a match for your family, because I had two brothers on dialysis. My brother has one, and it came from Milwaukee and went all the way to Denver because a young man lost his life here. And he has had that kidney now for a while, and it has not rejected. Yeah. So God bless the parents of that young man. They donated his life for that. So my question to you is, can I have the address or whatever, and what is it that I need to do to see if I can donate? I'm 66. And I don't mind donating blood because we need to do that. I've been trying to do it for so long.
Okay. Well, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, Versity is our new blood center now, and they just opened up their office on King Drive in that old Gimbel's building. So they would love to hear from you if you want to donate. Pastor Boston's wife is over the donation of the blood, and so yeah, Versity.
It's fascinating. Not fascinating. When I was in high school, I never missed a blood drive.
Well, you got out of school, you got it.
That wasn't it.
The food they gave you. We usually give snacks.
Orange juice and donuts. And
they do make you very comfortable when you get blood.
Are you back again? You still have orange juice and donuts?
Yeah. And our African American males, they tend not to have problems with their blood count or their low iron. So
that's because probably high protein, right?
Well, it's because us women, especially during childbearing ages, we lose blood every month, and so we have to replenish that. We lose iron every month, and so that makes it a little harder. As we age, there are other reasons we might not have a high blood count, but once that menses stops, that helps.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Attention business owners. Do you want to learn how to grow your business and network with other successful entrepreneurs in Wisconsin? Do you want to understand the resources that can truly help you? If you have answered yes to either question, you should consider attending the Business Council's 26th Annual Luncheon on Thursday, August 22nd from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. This event, themed Deeply Rooted, featuring special guest Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, host of BET News. Join us as we discuss how to successfully navigate business growth in today's economic climate while celebrating 26 years of helping ethnically diverse businesses make the connection in Wisconsin. To learn more or to register for the event, visit tbcmkeevents.com. This event is sponsored by our partners at Associated Bank, U.S. Bank, Diamond Disc International, Fusion Integrated Solutions, and of course, the one and only WNOV 860 AM and 106.5 FM. Again, business owners, visit tbcmkeevents.com to register or call 414-287-4108 for more information, as walk-ins cannot be accepted.
Why choose the water park capital of the world for a grown-up getaway? It's all there. Entertainment is there. Nightlife is there. Shopping, spas, and wineries are there. Been there, done that? More like been there, still haven't done that, or that. Golf? Hey, nice swing you got there. Dining? You'll be seated right over there. Ziplining? Hang in there! See what I did there? Wisconsin Dells. See you there. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your grown-up getaway today.
Tickets are on sale now for the 5th Annual Fresh Coast Jazz Festival featuring the incomparable Boney James, 12-time Grammy nominee Kirk Whalum, Kim Scott, and a host of chart-topping smooth jazz stars. Tickets start at just $69.50. Milwaukee's world-class jazz festival is back August 22nd through 24th, 2024. For tickets and info, visit PabstTheaterGroup.com or FreshCoastJazz.com.
Hi, this is Spencer Coggs, and I want to tell you about my friend, Senator Dora Drake. Senator Dora Drake is working to ensure that there are real consequences for reckless driving, not just a slap on the wrist. Senator Dora Drake expanded victim protective services to help those impacted by crime. And Senator Dora Drake will strengthen gun background checks and red flag laws to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. Join me in supporting your Senator Dora Drake in the Democratic primary August 13th. Paid for by Friends of Dora Drake.
It's time for the grooviest event of the summer at the Wisconsin State Fair. You'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through the 11th.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right, welcome back as we finish up with this segment of Be Healthy, Be You. If people want to donate organs, what are some of the ways they can do that, or what would they need to do?
Yes, they can visit www.donatelifewisconsin.org or donatelife.net.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Versity Blood Center on King Drive in the new building. They can. It's
Gimbal Schuster's
it's
building.
the old Gimbal Schuster's. Yeah. But it's beautiful. Yeah. They really have done a great job.
I'm glad they didn't raise that building.
Yeah.
And they just let us sit there and it up. So.
Yeah. And that's also another place that you can go to donate.
And if you want to be an organ donator, you can go to Versity to be an organ donator. But it gives it, well, they said the agreement there is binding, but also next time you renew your license.
Correct. If you check that
indicate.
box, then you automatically get registered with the state.
And talk about it.
Absolutely.
Talk about it with your family. Some like some kidneys you could take it from, they can do cadaver kidneys, or they can do live kidneys. People tend to do better with live organs.
All right. Be healthy, be you. Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the. Oh, and before you go, what is today? Today's 6. 2 weeks from now.
Is
2 weeks now. 2 weeks from now, on the program, that will be my 20th. That will be my 6-year anniversary.
Oh,
we'll
awesome.
do a little something.
Okay.
I just happened to fall on that day.
All right.
I don't know if we're gonna do cheesecake again. Maybe. Oh, you think she's listening?
Yeah, I couldn't get here for the cheesecake. I was working. Otherwise, I would have been here.
It went well, didn't it? I think everybody. And I don't eat cheesecake, which was really amazing.
Oh, you don't?
I rarely do either. It's usually the last thing on the that I'll eat. But if somebody makes a delicious cheesecake, it's Yeah.
So August 20th. That's
All right.
6th year. We were doing some things for my mom, and I had to do the math. I didn't realize we had did community talk for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was, and the only reason why we stopped community talk was my mom was getting older, but oh man. So I said, well, Mom, they offered me a position at WNOV. She said, okay, good. All right. Our last program will be.
See,
Pass
she
the
was
torch.
just doing it for you. But do they still use that station?
Yeah, they're down on Burleigh now.
Okay.
I always tell people, and I know we get a little frustrated, Milwaukee has the unique situation where we have 2 Black-owned and operated radio stations. I don't think Chicago, maybe VON, still Black-owned, but as big as Chicago is, I don't know if New York has any. I know Philadelphia has one because that was part of the controversy with the questions. But anyway, ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank our listeners.
Yes. Have a great day.
All right. That's interesting. Yes, Jesus Loves Me. I was listening to George Harrison's My Sweet Lord, and I didn't realize that was like almost a religious song. To be able to hear, yes, Jesus loves me because the Bible told me so. Man, that's all right. I missed this yesterday. But yesterday was National Cheer Liberation Day. Yeah, August 5th. Everybody remembers what happened on August 5th. Some inebriated white men decided that that they was gonna fight, and a woman, and brother came out of nowhere with a chair and handled all of that. And so the chair became like one of our symbols of national liberation when that brother came with the chair and handled some business. So,
yeah.
All right, 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. So Tim Walsh, that's an interesting pick. I guess it's not like, I think they're going to win in Minnesota, but that was an interesting pick. I was going with Senator Kelly. That was kind of like my guy. Love his backstory. I thought he would have been, but I don't think Tim Walsh is going to be a bad pick for her. Obviously, he's glib, he's sharp. The debate with him and J.D. Vance should be very interesting. So, they keep rolling, they keep moving. So this evening in Philadelphia, they will make their first joint appearance, and then they begin to barnstorm. Somebody was pointing out, they said when you look at her schedule compared to Donald Trump's schedule, where he's working maybe 2 days a week, she's 24/7. She's really putting the work in.
User's going to play its part in that too.
I think so. I think when people get a chance, and this is why he's fearful of debating her. One, he just doesn't have the skill level. Look, now, if you don't believe that Kamala Harris is black, I bet you she can gun. I bet you what we call it, capping, gun, playing the dozens. She can talk smack. So he's gonna have a real problem just going up to, and then he's gonna find out how smart she really is, and being able to go. Let's see. We did talk about Noah Lyles yesterday. The more and more I look at that race, man, like dude barely won. And then the young lady, what is her name? She's the biracial young lady who's the gymnast. And I think I was watching the replay last night. I didn't watch it live yesterday. And she went from possibly being disqualified to having her they did an adjustment and she ended up getting the bronze. The young lady from Brazil won, I think, the overall. And then Simone, there was something they said about her foot or something, but then they went in and readjusted the scores. And when they readjusted the scores, she ended up winning the bronze. The young lady from Brazil won the gold. She's Rebecca Andrade. She's good. She's really good. Simone Biles and then Jordan Childs. And Jordan Childs just thought she had lost. And then when they did the readjustment, she went in. So, again, the Americans were dominant in gymnastics, certainly women's gymnastics. The men have yet to catch up with the women in terms of the ability to win medals. Also, the guy last night who set a world record in the pole vault. This dude was good. Guy, he's from Sweden. Well, he's not from Sweden. He grew up in America. His mom is from Sweden, and so he decided to compete for Sweden. And then Rhonda told me about this. I didn't see this, but Rhonda told me about this, and I'm only reporting the news, y'all. So, Olympic athlete whose penis completely ruined chances of winning the medal gets unbelievable request. So I guess the guy was going over for the pole vault, and it said that his penis hit the bar, and that's what knocked the bar down. So it is a game of inches. Caller, welcome to the program.
You are something else, brother.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What's going on, Pete?
Man, I'm trying to make it happen. And let me say the Swedish superstar, his name is Armand Duplantis. I don't know if he competed with LSU, but I know he's from Louisiana, but his mom is Swedish, and so that's why he's competing with Sweden. Good morning. What's happening?
Hello? Hello?
I can't hear you.
Oh, let me tell you, I got a good old song for you, man. I discovered it yesterday.
Okay.
Boney James in October London. It's a new song. You need to check that out.
Is it in our rotation?
Boney J.
Yeah, Debo says in our rotation, so I got to pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got to check that out.
Yeah,
That's all that.
Okay, man. How you been?
Man, I've been all right. Just been the same old 110 or 111, whatever case may be.
Well, man, you know,
That's
heat is
norm.
real.
Oh yeah, I know. But my uncle told me so 70 degrees today. I'm like 70 degrees. That's a little. That's that
And
fall
you know
weather.
what? It feels cold. I mean, it
Man, I know
feels
it's
cold because it's been so hot and humid, and then all of a sudden it's just like, but this is Wisconsin, man. That weather break, but yeah, it's feeling a little cold and it's still a little damp and rainy right now. But yeah. Nice little relief.
I'm kind of dreading it because I'm supposed to be coming there in the August.
Okay.
So I'm be coming from 111 to 70 within hours. So I know
Right,
that's
or
gonna be
even
cold.
80, you're gonna feel the difference.
Oh, you're gonna feel it, yeah. But you talking about 70, so that means it was probably 60 or something that night then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd be about 65 at night, which is good. That's great sleeping weather. You can open up the windows. I remember my I'm trying to
More like
remember
close the windows.
my grandmother could have passed. I think it could have been August or whenever it was still warm during the day. And a couple of cousins stayed with us. And so we had the windows open in the house, right? And they were like, that's cold. You need to close those windows. I said, man, look, I look for the first day in spring that we can actually open up windows and doors, right? Get that fresh air in. It's I like that though. I always we were in Key West and you know, when the trade winds come in and we stay this place and you leave the door open, there's no mosquitoes, right? You leave the window and man, just to be able to feel that wind, you know.
Yeah, we ain't gonna feel that until maybe let me see, I think maybe September and October. It's gonna be that's more like for us right now. You ain't doing none of that. You ain't even opening the blinds up. You shutting it down.
So when is monsoon? When do you guys get your monsoon? When it starts just your rainy season?
It started already. It started last month.
Okay. Yeah, I got to check on my buddy in Tampa to see how he was impacted by Debbie.
Debbie was kicking names, wasn't she?
Man, it was a whole lot of water. Well, we had flooding just north of Milwaukee here because of the amount of rain that came in. And but the good thing about the front was it kept moving. I can remember June of 2008 when we had the flooding here, and literally that front just camped over Milwaukee and just rained, and it rained.
Oh yeah, I remember staying on Mill Road and they didn't have, like off Green Tree, they didn't have like irrigation where the water would drain.
Right.
They didn't have one of them big old. They didn't have, so they had to make that the following year, and people was riding down on. People had their boats going up the street on Green Tree.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I mean, that amount of rain, the flooding. I get water in the basement from time to time, especially if they don't, you know, we get a lot of rain and they don't open up the sewers, we'll get some backup in the house. But I'll never forget going downstairs. Something was coming on HBO. I'm going downstairs, man. I done stopped at whatever to get my sub, got my little soda, gonna go downstairs. I had 3 inches of water in the rec room. I never get water in the rec room. That's just how much water was in the house.
That's when that sub pump wasn't working no more.
It didn't matter, you know, because the sewers were backing up because they weren't releasing the water. And that's where in Milwaukee we deal with. If they don't release the water after heavy, you could get sewer back up. Yesterday, they advised people not to flush, not to take showers, not to run their dishwashers.
What?
Yeah, because, because all the things were expelled water into the system, right? So you want to minimize the amount of water that you're putting in the system that's not rain. So that was part of the advisory.
Black folks is flushing every toilet and
I know. You go in there and you're going to tell me not to take a shower. Well, dude, it can't wait. You done waited 3 weeks now, and another 12 hours ain't gonna make a difference.
You still funky.
Right. And anytime you tell human beings not to do something, guess what they gonna do?
They do it.
Just what you told them not to do. They go, you don't be telling me what to do. Dude, there's a practical reason why we're asking you not to do this. It was just like in Cali when they were doing the water rationing and they were telling people not to water their lawn. People still out there watering their lawn.
They do that. Yeah, at a certain time of day, you can't water your lawn. You can't turn it on because it's water. It's water. It's just like people. You got a sign on the door say don't enter. Well, why I can't come through? Well, I'm going through it anyway. Say don't go through. Next you know, you didn't got electrocuted or something.
Yeah, there
you
you go.
didn't read the sign.
Yeah, that's usually the basic premise of a whole lot of horror movies, by the way, that white people do, where they actually going in the room where the sound is coming from. I've been taught to go to the different direction, or
we run it with our head turned to the back, trying to see what's going on.
There you go.
We want to see, but we getting away though from whatever is happening.
We definitely trying to get away.
In there.
Yep. That's why I love the blackening.
All
right, man. Because the blackening really makes fun of the whole horror genre, where you gonna run. What do they say? The thing is, we should split up. When they say we should split up, then what happens? So, Jason gets this group over here, and then Mike Myers gets this group over here, and then Freddy Krueger, he gets this group over here. It just seems to me, though, man, that. And then the other thing is, why are you going upstairs? Find a door or a window on the first floor and get out the house. It just. I don't know, is it Geico who's doing a commercial where they were showing these folks, and it's supposed to be a horror movie, and they're trying to hide. So instead of just going this way, the more practical way, they go and hide with the hanging of the chainsaws. It's just like, now, I don't know if that's an ethnic thing. I do not know that. I will tell you, though, anytime I go to a movie theater, anytime I go to a concert, I am always looking, where is the exit? How close am I to the exit? Is the exit clearly marked? Because if something jump off up in this mug, I'm gone. Cancel Christmas. You just saw Keith. Because my mother said it's better to say, there he go, than there he lay. And I'm going, yep, that makes a whole, that fight or flight. But sometimes, man, you gotta book. I was playing ball on the east side, the old MSOE playground now, which was Jefferson Street playground. We used to play over there, man. Those Sunday games were incredible. And so, dude, get over there, and I don't know why dudes with no game want to play and then get mad because they ain't got no game. And so then dude was all mad, and he going da 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 da. He said, all right, I'm going to go to my car. And so I picked up my gear and got in my car. See, a buddy of mine a week later, he's going like, dude, you left. Yeah, because I didn't want to be there when he came back with the gun. Now they said he didn't, but I don't know. We have a whole lot of, there was a homicide down right outside of Kenosha where dude got put out the bar. He go get his gun, come back, basically shoot up the bar. So when people say they coming back, they might be coming back. So, they might be coming back. I was someone was talking and they were talking about, he was telling me that there was some park and they had a rally for nonviolence, right? Or a cookout for nonviolence. He was telling me the story. And then he said that, they get there to get the fighting. Somebody gets the shooting. And I said, yeah, because they didn't see nonviolence. All they saw was rally and picnic, cookout. So that's what they come for, not this idea of, we're coming to be nonviolent. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan, when he made the clarion call for the Million Man March, said, we ain't gonna have no drugs, we ain't gonna have no alcohol, we ain't gonna have no drama. And we didn't have no drugs, and we didn't have no alcohol, and we didn't have no drama. That's 1 million people. 1 million people. No drugs, no alcohol, no drama. Because if you ever, when people study riots, one of the things, excuse me, if anybody, phone line's open. Anybody can tell me the last major riot we had in winter? Okay. Yeah, the Crickets, we don't riot in the wintertime. Certainly we don't riot in the wintertime in Milwaukee, right? People don't riot usually in cold weather unless they really, really, really mad, okay? No, if it's cold weather, we can wait. We can wait. Just wait till the weather break, and then we'll get up and we'll go. But if you look at what fuels riots, obviously the frustration of marginalized people. I think Dr. King said that riots is the voice of the unheard, or something to that point, making that point. But look at what happens with riots. It's usually hot. One of the first places they hit, talking about rioters, are liquor stores. That fuels it. Okay. To the point we were talking, I don't know if we were doing it on air, and we were talking about how when we had the situation over at Sherman Park. Now for the people, Michelle said she was out of town. She's watching it. Debo said he was in Mississippi. He was watching that. I had friends calling me literally from around the country, wanting to know, one, was I okay? Two, they burning the city down. I'm going, dude, this is not the 92 LA riots. It was a gas station and some vandalism on Fond du Lac. That was it. But the news media makes it sound like the whole city was on fire. It's just burning everywhere. As a matter of fact, this thing, a young lady, she's passed now, was talking about, she just happened to be going home, going down Burleigh, and she drives right into the middle of it. Had no idea it was even happening till she drove into it. So it was a big deal. I mean, we got money promised and the whole piece. But like I told my late friend Ron Banks, I said, Ron, the city is not on fire. It was just a gas station. But again, the way that it looked, it was just like, man, the roof is on fire. Like they were going to burn it down. What I still have here in my last few minutes. Hey, I think I need to do a cleanup on aisle 3. I do need to do a cleanup on aisle 3. I had said that Cori Bush had lost the primary, and and so I don't know if today is election day, but she had not lost, and I said that she had lost to Mr. Bell. She had not, and I think today is the primary. Don't know what her Republican opponent looks like, but it sounds like it's a solidly Democratic congressional district. And so the primary is today. And because the guy who ran against her, St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, has decided to abandon his run for his Senate. Instead, will challenge incumbent U.S. Representative Cori Bush. I think Michelle was talking about that today in terms of the pro-Israeli lobby that's pouring a whole lot of money into this race to support her opponent. Yeah, so she didn't. So I apologize for that bad information. But the polling was saying that I think the last polls I saw, she was down by 6 points in the polls. It's gonna be tough. And then you play the demographic games. This is an election in August. Certain communities are going to be low participation in terms of that election. And so the well-financed person will be able to get out and take advantage of that. Plus, they're using her call for justice for the Palestinian people. And that is a threat, some people believe, to the state of Israel. And so the people here who support Israel are pouring a lot of money into that race for her opponent because they're fearful. I don't know how true it is, but they're fearful of what American policy will be towards Israel. Understanding what happened on October the 7th. October the 7th. Was it October the 7th? Yeah, it's been that long, man. We're almost coming up on a year. And how tragic and awful that was. But the aftermath does not equate to an equal execution of justice. It's turned into something else. And there are people who prior to October 7th were saying or calling for a two-state solution when it comes to Palestine/Israel. But there are people who believe that if you're supportive of that, then you're some people say you're anti-Semitic. That is not true. I have problems with some of the policies in Nigeria. Don't make me anti-Black. It don't even make me anti-Nigeria. It just means I have a problem with your particular policy or government structure. Not that I have a problem with you that somehow you're some marginalized group of people. And I think that that's what you're hearing. A lot of times any criticism of Israel will trigger in people a certain level of angst because of the experience of the Holocaust. I can appreciate that. But in fairness, a lot of times for me to criticize your governance, or to criticize how you are not just supplanting a group of people, but suppressing a group of people, how you created what people call one of the largest concentration camps in the world in terms of the Gaza Strip. Again, what happened in the Golan Heights, that's that little part that overlooks, you can look into Israel, basically from Syria. And the fact that the UN has said that Israel is illegally occupying the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights need to go back to Syria. So to have policy discussions does not mean that one is anti-Semitic. It means that one has a problem with the policy of a government where the majority of people who live in that country just happen to be Jewish. But it has nothing to do with me being upset with Jewish people. I'm bothered by the policy that impacts another group of marginalized people. And myself being part of a marginalized people, I'm an ally. I clearly understand. I think unless you put yourself in that situation, you need to put yourself in the situation of the average Palestinian, who's been pulled into some things that, it's amazing. Let's even get to how we even have Hamas. America said, as other nations, that if Gaza should have free and open elections, it should be democracy. Okay. And in democracy, it's majority rule. A majority of the people, obviously, when you look at democracy, there's people there who, if the majority rules, it's just the majority rules. And so America was saying, well, we will accept the winner. There wasn't any irregularities like we're having down in Venezuela, where the guy comes out and says he won. Maduro says, I won with 51% of the vote. but the documentation shows that the opposition had 70% of the vote. Okay, so we're not talking about that. All right. We're going to get out of here. Hey, let me thank Miss Julia Means, Miss Brenda Buchanan. Let me thank Michelle, Devo, Carvey. Everybody's been part of the program today. The good Lord willing, Creek Don't Rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.